The first most obvious that come to me is heart opening, extremely heart opening. The feeling of being safe, feeling home. Um, and maybe celebrating through knowledge, which I think it's beautiful because it's like not a blind trust, but we trust because we also understand. And because we understand, we can even go deeper. And that's beautiful. It's like, yeah, yeah, knowledge is named so often as light, right? Bringing lightness into the dark. And I really feel that light will be that last word. Yeah, in the light. Yeah. I think there is this time where I feel everybody is really just becoming very aware of how much we're longing for real connection. This is I think, the essence. And the circles are extreme beneficial to just experience that. How can we connect deeper through having these kind of circles where we commit to authentic relating or speaking the truth and holding the truth in a very protected way, and relating to each other without competition, without jealousy, without this feeling of separation. That's the essence of, for me, of Vedanta. Really realizing there is no separation from one to another. And that's something that, well, it's not very common to know or to experience if we are raised in the Western culture. We're actually taught the opposite, that we are separate and that, yeah, we ought to kind of run alone in our individual little path and build this career alone and be independent. All of those things that go a little bit against connection and against really trusting and being able to fall onto the community as well. This idea of community or having a group to share is also not very common in my perception. And to be honest, I felt it was really deep. I was surprised. I was a bit afraid to feel missing that kind of contact, and I did miss that we could be more physical together, massage each other and give this food bath and all of that. But I don't feel that took away any of the depth of the whole training. I'm very honest about that. I really felt like, wow, we dived through the whole course together. I felt very connected with each one of you, and of the group of Davies. I also like the fact that it was recorded and I could go back. I could have integration time by myself, go back to the material, revisit, and then have all of that available at any time. So I'm super positively surprised at how deep we could go, even in this format. Yeah. Goddess. I don't know. There is so much light in her. And for me, the most striking thing is how incredibly accessible she makes the Vedanta teachings to everybody, which are very profound teachings and at times, sometimes they're complex to grasp. And they can feel, especially for me, from my perspective in the beginning, they could feel very far away to kind of grasp the complexity. And through her ways and her metaphors and her repetitions, her kindness, her poetry, she makes it really, really accessible. Furthermore, I was really fascinated with the fact that she was doing the Vedanta teachings together with a background on, for example, the inner child meditations and also the women work. And also she did the yoga together. So there was a lot of other elements that join in this Vedanta work in classes that really helped me to incorporate it more into my daily life. And she has been there for me as a coach as well in many very deeply important moments in my life when I needed some guidance. So I have her very dear in my heart. Yeah, she taught me so much about life and how to be a woman or embrace being a woman. Yeah, and sort of grasping life from a different perspective, like really from a more non-attached perspective and holistic approach of Vedanta. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Thank you.
So grateful for her. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting question. I am part of another circle that comes more from the shamanic tradition. Um, and what I feel has a different towards the Be Woman Vedic tradition is there is a very deep foundation of the Vedic philosophy underneath. If I can call it philosophy, or the Vedic wisdom, let's say, underneath. And so in these Be Woman circles, I feel that they are so safe and protected with all of the prayers, the mantras, the actions one can do, for example, the pujas or all the practices. So there is a lot of tools around it that one can take and incorporate in daily life. I think that is the most deep difference between the shamanic, the only one that I know as in comparison. I'm not saying shamanic does not have tools, but I just feel that the tools in the Vedanta way to do it, or the Be Woman way to do it, are somehow more concrete and specific, and also really specific to each situation. So you can really call upon, for example, a specific Devi if you want courage, or if you want light, or you want creativity, or so you really can unfold in 1,000 pieces whatever you need, and just pick that little piece that really means something for you at that moment. So it brings so much richness, yeah, to the whole circle. So that is very specific. There is also some more direct contact with sacredness through, in my experience, through the puja, for example, the offerings to, like with the flowers as well, just all the offerings to the altar, but also the offerings to oneself. And this discovery how much we are sacred, or not just how much, but that we are sacred, right? And there is this very sweetness to it, where there is all those rituals also towards other women, like how to massage them, how to touch them, how to embrace them, how to remember and remind each of us, that we are indeed sacred and lovable and complete and everything. Yeah. So in a way, I feel it's a more hands-on approach as well. Yeah, and I'm just so deeply grateful for me saying yes to that I am allowed to have that space within myself in my life, and to value it deeper. That's what I felt so strongly in the training. I was like, wow, yes, how much I have underestimated in the past, that value of just nourishing that femininity, daring to look at it, also the wilderness of it, and daring to share it in the group. The power of the group was so strong for me, like the nourishment from all the stories that we shared, the authenticity, the vulnerability of each Devi to be there. Yeah, it was like medicine to hear to it and to feel within also those voices, as if, you know, it's one body with all these voices speaking through the same flow in a way. And also to learn more about what's very important to me about the pelvic area, sacred sexuality, natural fertility awareness, pelvic floor yoga. I mean, and also to allow to have those self-loving practices. It's again this, yeah, that I'm in deep gratitude to myself to say yes to myself and to that space. And of course, I'm in deep gratitude to everybody that participated and to the teachers that give in Sharada, that gave the tools to go into all the different areas and to learn more. And I always end up in awe at how little we get to know in normal life, let's say, about these very, very fundamental things of being a woman, and yeah, giving that space and that nourishment to yourself, just in order to be, yeah, to be more, what would I say, connected, like in really a active dialogue with yourself and able to act in a more, yeah, aligned way to the outer world, to daily life, to your partners, to your relationships, your daughters, your family. Yeah. So, wow, it was such a beautiful journey, really. It was so transformative. It was like cracking a nut open, you know, like making more and more and more space and going like, wow, there is all that. And then there's more and there's more, you know, the more you look, the more space you also can create. And the more healthy boundaries you also can have for yourself. Yeah. And then it's kind of a like an ongoing will that the more, you know, the more space you have, the more value you feel to yourself, the more clear boundaries, the more you can give. It's beautiful. It's just kind of like, yeah, unfolding. Sorry. Yes, I have so many wishes for the Bee Woman. I actually wish that it would just grow enormously and have this support and have, you know, just seats everywhere in the world, that whoever, wherever you are, you could just easily access it, and not just, even not just virtually, but actually physically meeting someone that have been going the path and could help to give tools to more and more communities. And also, yeah, it's just this beautiful wish that it's like Sharada is planting all these seeds in each of us, and I just hope that we can just keep on planting more and more and more and more seeds, and that more Devis remind or remember themselves as sacred and can help that, yeah, that idea to of yeah, of non-separateness to raise and become really more established. Yeah. So that there is this huge heart healing going on. That's my wish, that it just keeps on spreading. Yeah.
Yay!
That would be so beautiful. Yeah. I wish I can start to do it also where I am here, and bring it not just in the form of a circle, but bring it in life, you know, bring it in the way that we relate to each other. That would be so beautiful.
Tatastu.
It's already happening, but that it can keep on growing and keep on, yeah, that's my wish. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's a bumping one. You say?
Pulsing heart.
Happy heart.
Happy heart. Beautiful.